on Ice Hockey UK TV in association with Intermotor. Pleased to be joined by the head coach of Great Britain's women's team. It's Mike Clancy. Hi, Mike. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Craig. You well?
All very good. And I think it always seems to be with the women's program at the moment. It's always an exciting, busy time, and so it is for this current season, as we are just a few months away from an Olympic qualifying cycle.
Yeah, I think this is probably the biggest season I've ever known, Craig. The commitment, the time, the competition, it's huge for the women this year.
Yeah. So we as we talked, the tickets have just gone on sale this week for Sheffield in December. And having a home qualifier, it's kind of where you started as GB coach 3 years ago in Nottingham. So you kind of done the full cycle now, but having a home qualifier in Nottingham, it's a huge opportunity for the program to progress and go to the next level.
Yeah, without a doubt, we are definitely planning to go through in Sheffield for this Olympic qualifier and onwards in February to the next round. And let's see where it takes us. But we've got a great group working super hard at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, we said it's full circle for yourself. Does it feel like 3 years? It's been a busy 3 years. The program's achieved a hell of a lot since we came back from the COVID pause. Can you reflect on those 3 years, or is it just too much gone on?
Oh, do you know what? There's so much gone on. There's the lows of the first Olympic qualifier that we ventured into in Nottingham, just so narrowly missing out in front of 2,000 people. That was incredible. Going on then, strength to strength as we continue to build the program, and winning gold in Spain was a particular fond memory for me. A real positive group, and we said all along this journey, one of the things that we needed to do is turn the women into athletes. We needed to increase the squad numbers to enable us to compete at high level, and certainly when competition comes up as broadly as it is now, we need that depth. But you know what? It's been an amazing 3 years. Huge learning in the second tier or division above where we were playing in Spain. I think that compete level has really come through. Surprised us at times. I couldn't believe the physicality and the speed of the game. So look, the last 3 years has been a fantastic 3 years. It's been a great learning, and one I'm excited to continue and continue to grow the program on.
Yeah. As we saw in Latvia in the spring at the World Championships, I think it was fair to say GB have kind of established themselves now in that Division 1 group. The first tournament in Korea, very much a fact-finding, learning their way, finding how fast and physical the division is. But Latvia beating Italy, beating Slovenia, pushing Poland, pushing, those teams have always given us problems, but the way we dealt with them in Latvia shows how established they are and how comfortable the maybe are in Division 1 now.
Yeah, I think a lot of people said, if you'd have believed we were going into the final game to play for a silver medal, which is where we were, I think anyone would have shook my hand and said, well done, crack on. And we were really unfortunate to lose out, I think 3-2 in the end in that particular game. A couple of mistakes and we got punished. And I think another learning to come away from the division we're playing in is that you will get punished on mistakes that you make. So you need to be on it, and you need to make sure that you're competing at the right end.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned the Olympic qualifiers. We'll talk about the tickets in those in a moment, but it's just the start of a really busy year. I say at least one Olympic qualifying tournament. The second round is in February. You've got more international challenge games before the Olympic qualifiers, and then we finish with a home World Championship. So the squad that you mentioned earlier is going to be put to the test this year. Everybody's going to have a chance of being part of a very special year for GB women.
Yeah, we've grown, Craig. There is I would say there's 35 strong in our squad now that can be selected at any one of these competitions that we go to. I mean, we start realistically with a camp in October. That's a 2-day camp. We go on then to a camp in November with 2 friendlies against Poland, which I'm excited to play another really, really good, strong nation. We then follow that up in December with the Olympic qualifiers. We are planning for the second round of the Olympic qualifiers in February, which I think this group should. And then, as you said, back at home then to celebrate and really kick on with the World Championships in the UK, I think is super exciting for the women's programme this year. And we definitely have a squad for it, and girls hungry to make that team for sure.
Yeah. And the squad is something that you've used over your time in charge. And a lot of the girls we've noticed are expand. They're not just playing the women's leagues; they are playing some NIHL to get that faster paced, more physicality, which is more akin to international hockey. So they are getting more kind of experience, more reps at the domestic level. So they are ready if they are called, and they can drop in as we've seen many times over the last 3 years. Players have come in, been dropped into the squad, and haven't looked out of place.
No, I agree. I think really allowing the girls to step into that NIHL and step up where they are competing at a faster game. There is physicality there that they've got to get used to. Is very, very similar, I would say, to the women's competitions that we've seen while we've been abroad, and it will put them in good stead. It will definitely help them competing at that level. And I'm looking forward to seeing what that does now in our program as we continue to go forward.
Yeah. And again, something we've talked about, how the program's been able to grow and develop. It hasn't happened by accident, and there's been a lot of support you've had behind the scenes to enable the program to grow as is. So whether that's support from the board, from UK Sport, from the sponsors, it's everybody's chipping in to make the program as good as it can be.
Yeah, I think that support for the women's program, Craig, you'll have seen it when you've been with us, has been absolutely tremendous. Huge support from Ice Hockey UK board, huge support from Pete Russell on the men's side as a coaching mentor whenever we need to step into things. I think if I go on from that, sponsors, Intermotor, Staircraft, UK Sport, you mentioned before, CCM, Hockey Station, and the Great Britain Supporters Club, what they bring to the women's program is absolutely brilliant. And there's not a person out there that wants to see this program fail, and they are putting absolutely everything into it and behind it to drive that positivity and show they want to do well in the women's game.
Yeah, and as you say, the camp starts in October. That support obviously enable the camp, the coaches, the support staff to make the girls' experience as good as it can be. When you do come together, what's the first thing going to be in let's say October's camp? Are you just going to get as many players as possible to run through things and see how players are developing to get an eye towards December and kind of start kind of nailing down the list perhaps?
Yeah, I think we're really, really lucky at the moment because we have good video on all the girls that are abroad. October's a real strange one because it's the start of university and school for many people that are playing abroad. So we tend not to get all of the players available for this one. But my expectation is we have them all coming in for November, where we'll get what we think is the broadened squad. We'll play those competitions against Poland and we'll select from there.
And then we mentioned the support of the board and the sponsors. Talking about support in the stands, one of the huge things about the Nottingham tournament was how the numbers of fans in the stands grew as the tournament progressed. And we playing for that qualifier on the Sunday, I say nearly 2,000 people in the Motorpoint Arena in Nottingham. Kind of that's where you want to start with Ice Sheffield. It's 3 home games. Day tickets are £15. It's for 2 games of international hockey a day. And we want the support to enjoy the hockey, but also to give the girls that support to make home ice count. As we saw in Latvia, home ice counts for a huge amount.
Yeah, home support's huge, Craig. I really want this opportunity to get behind the girls in a huge way. You mentioned £15 for a day ticket. That's 2 high quality international games for 15 quid. I think it's been price pointed right at the right level to enable us to sell out. 1,500, 2,000 people in Sheffield for me would be a success for the women, and those supporters really helping drive us along to that second round. I'm excited for it. I really am.
And finally, as we say, it's December the 12th. It starts off. It's a Thursday, rest day Friday, and then game Saturday, Sunday. And it's all opponents that we know fairly well: Spain, Latvia, Netherlands. Netherlands are the only 1A team. Everybody else is around our level. It's going to be uber competitive, but as I say, home advantage. Hopefully, we'll see JB over the line.
Yeah, I don't underestimate Spain. They've developed as a nation really well over the last few years. I think they were unlucky with Latvia last year, really, not to come back through. Latvia have really developed as a nation. We saw that while we were at the last World Championships, and they narrowly beat us 3-2. And the Netherlands, it's a level that we aspire to play at, and we've talked about this within our 5-year plan, that we were always wanting to get to Division 1A and trying to get the systems and develop players to enable us to stay there rather than bouncing up and bouncing down. So I'm really excited. Competition will be really strong. I think it'll be about the plans on the day. Home ice is definitely going to give us an advantage over the nations coming in, and that crowd, that support. Let's lift the place. Let's get it bouncing and really show what the girls can do.
As we're talking, the Women's Elite League here in the UK faces off this weekend. The domestic game has come on a huge amount over the last number of years. Does having something like the PWHL in North America kind of give another something for it to aim at, so they can see what top level domestic or professional hockey can look like? So it's another thing to aim for, and have GB players looking towards the PW.
Oh, without doubt. I mean, you saw the coverage on the sport there in the PWHL last year. I think it was fantastic. It really shows a level of the game. They were filling out stadiums. The compete level was incredible. The way that they allowed the games to flow a lot more, and I thought some of the games that I watched last year were out of this world. I really did. And then let's not forget, Sweden have one of the strongest women's league in the world. And again, you go and watch some of those games, and wow, the level's incredible. So it all inspires and gets the girls to play at a much better level. And look, why have we got 16, 17-year-old girls going out to universities and colleges and sports programs right now? Because they want to play at the highest level they possibly can. So they're hungry, and there is opportunity for that now.
Yeah, no, it is really exciting. Women's hockey, whether it's the UK or across the world, women's hockey is huge, and is only going in one way, and it's great to be part of it with Great Britain. It's an exciting time. We'll look forward to catching up on the journey in the next few months. But for your time, Mike, appreciate you joining us today, and we'll catch up again soon, I'm sure.
Thanks, Craig. Take care.